Hello, I'm FXToyCat, and making money doing what you love is the absolute dream, which is why I consider myself to be very lucky to have not just one, but multiple businesses related to Minecraft, one of my favorite games of all time. But how does this actually work? How do you make money from Minecraft? How do people do these tournaments and these mod making, this map making, YouTube and live streaming? How do any of these systems make money? Today I figured I'd share my personal experience as well as that of those close to me on how the economics of all of these 5 things actually work. And we're going to start with the first and perhaps the most important and fundamental of all 5, which is map making. Well, it can be boiled down to 3 simple things. The first is a map that's actually worth selling. I love my Furnace Bridge as much as any other person does, but this isn't a Minecraft map in itself, it's just me playing Minecraft and building some things. So a map that people actually feel is good enough to download, and then the second is an audience of people who would actually like to play that very map. There is such a wide range of incredible maps that exist, but ultimately you need people who actually want to download them, whether it's because it's a fun thing to do with friends or whether it's because it's something they really appreciate and want. You need to find people who actively want the things that you make. And then the third thing is a way to make money when they actually download the map. So most people think of this and say the marketplace. You need to just apply to be a marketplace partner, but this is actually something very limited by Minecraft because they don't want to be seen as just selling any old crap, and so only a few teams are added to the marketplace every year. And in general, you need to prove you've had a few successful map downloads before you've done that. So are you just going to make maps for free? I don't think that's necessarily what you have to do. Instead, you can monetize via different ways. So you can sell your own maps outside of the marketplace if you want. This is not a route I'd recommend, but you can sell them on any marketplace that exists out there, or you can simply make the download free but supported via ads. There are all sorts of ad-supported websites. I used to use AdFly, but there's a few that exist now where you can get paid every time someone goes to a download link. It does require someone to go through a few extra seconds to download your map, so it has to be something people really want to download, and you could eventually transition this into selling maps directly. People think of this as being the marketplace, but you could also do it on Patreon or even OnlyFans if you want to. There's no rules in OnlyFans against Minecraft maps because there's very few rules at all, and so that might be something you look into. However, a lot of people don't like the idea of fully self-publishing maps. This is a great idea if you want to go the entrepreneur route, but if you are just wanting to make maps and then work it out later, and you have enough talent, you can reach out to existing marketplace teams. Some of them work as publishers, and some of these people will publish your map for you, give you marketing, support, etc., and they'll give you a cut of the map that you sell. If you want to go even a step lower down than that and just make money building stuff that is important, you can apply to be a builder via the website bucketofcrabs.com, and we'll come back to that more later, but there is a whole bunch of websites where you can just build for people and get paid a certain amount for your building contributions, which might be a good way to monetize your Minecraft building skill. But, you might also realize that you actually like building when it was the creative side and not necessarily the hard effort side, but that's down for you to decide. Speaking of ways for you to decide, one of the most open platforms inside of what you actually do with it is, of course, YouTube, or MeTube, because it's me right now. If you are someone that you think people would be interested to learn about, then this is a great platform. Even if you're not, it's something I would recommend trying, if only for self-confidence reasons, because YouTube is a platform all about the people side of things. You can be the best at the game you can imagine, but if you can't really communicate with that people, it doesn't really matter. And the reverse is true. If you're terrible at video games, but people want to be around you and listen to you and hear what you have to say, then maybe YouTube is a great place to be. I recommend giving it a shot for all sorts of reasons, but the one big piece of advice that goes above everything else is don't look at something that's already popular and think you can do that. Sometimes people say this on like oh, it's just copying level, but ignoring the copying side of things, because I think all art is about copying, it just isn't going to do very well. If you see a Captain Sparkles of the world, or you see some YouTuber who's doing something really successful and you want to copy that, clone it, and do it again, you might think this is a great idea. But if it was, then there would be a trillion Mr. Beast channels with 100 million views each. But the truth is, once something already exists, people know where to find it. It's with that person. Doing that, but with a worse personality, worse production quality, etc., is never going to catch on. You need to find your unique niche is usually the guide for basically any industry, but with YouTube in particular, find something that you think you can do better than exists out there, or even better, what I did when I started is find something that you wish existed and start making it and see if people will naturally find it. There is this tendency in content for stuff to eventually rise to the top, and I think YouTube Shorts is a great way to promote yourself. I think that making sure that you make a decent amount of stuff that is, trying to promote your stuff as much as you can is the best thing you can do, and that doesn't mean going into random comment sections and typing, hey, please check out my channel. That means going out there and working out what is the on-meta branding for thumbnails. What is the thing you've got to do as far as YouTube Shorts and TikToks
and making sure other platforms will promote your YouTube. It's a very hard game, and it is very much running a business like all of the other things on this list, but if you can do it successfully, then you'll do great. But if instead you don't like the idea of high effort around the thing, and instead you just like the idea of playing the thing, but also you don't think you're good enough to necessarily be like in the tournament end of things, you might prefer instead streaming. Streaming has very much stepped up in quality since I started YouTube. It used to be back in the day just, yeah, watch some people and then they do stuff vaguely and they maybe will get you to subscribe to their channel. Streaming is now a industry where the top dogs are making tens of millions and sometimes hundreds of millions in contracts, right? So it's very, very insane what the top level of streaming is, and a lot of people look at that and say, yep, that's normal. You stream the game and people just tip you $10 every 5 seconds. The truth is, the overwhelming majority of streamers, what's the average number of viewers per stream? It actually works out to slightly less than 1. The majority of people streaming have 0 people watching, because think about it. How many people, if you right now were to go down the street, how many people's windows would you like to come and hang out with them and play games with? Probably very few. You'd probably want to find someone that was interesting and also that would let you into their house and that wouldn't look at you weirdly once you got in there. But the point about streaming is you need to be someone who people would like to be around. There's a whole point about like energy levels in this, I'm sure too, but I think the most important thing for you to know is that it's much more important to have the regularity and the consistency, because when people do find you, they need to be able to find you again, than it is to try and do big grand events. Having those is incredibly important. I mean, you probably heard about the guy who beat every single Minecraft speedrun, but it's not as important as knowing that that person is a regular that you can watch, because that is something that people value in their live streaming entertainment. So I would say the actual business end of doing those things, because I think this is important. While we're talking about making money, the way you actually do that is on YouTube or on Twitch. You can get paid per view for the ads that are played before videos, but it's widely accepted that unless you're getting millions of views every single month, that either you accept it's going to be a part-time income or you have to accept some form of additional income. So when it comes to streaming, sponsorships are the big way, but this is also a thing you can do on YouTube. There are all sorts of companies and games that are willing to pay you to go with their stuff. I think it's very important to note that if you sell your audience for money, you won't have an audience for very long, and it's very important to be honest and upfront about these things, but you can look into the monetization once you get there. You can look into the merch offerings, the making your own products, all the different things that people do. The most important thing that it all revolves around is, can you get a viewership? And that's the thing you should be thinking about. Will people ever care about you playing Minecraft? And if the answer is no, try and work out a world where they will and work towards that. I think that basically any skill set can be applied to Minecraft in this way, and you might start to cynically say, wait a minute, Toycat, you're just saying you can do anything, but you can technically do it with Minecraft. I just want Minecraft as a job. The truth is, you're never going to have a job that is just playing a game. You're never going to have a job that's just willing to give you money and fame, because almost everything in life that looks like it's incredibly fun on the surface actually has a lot of work that needs to go into underneath, and enjoying that work is something we all do learn to do. I think it's very depressing, especially when you're like young and you just dream of like, I want a job where I play games. The actual reality of playing games for a job is you're a QA tester and you load up the same game over and over again and you test weird edge cases to see if they're working. And the same is true for Minecraft. Sure, there are jobs that are actually really dull and painful if you really don't want to be a streamer. Playing it for 14 hours a day when you just want to work on a base and have people care about it might be terrible, but if you have any skill set, applying that to Minecraft and using your passion of Minecraft as a plus for that job rather than a negative is the way that you're going to be successful with anything. Right now, whenever we talk about being a creator, content creator on the internet, we tend to talk about specifically YouTube, and YouTube does have one of the best partner programs for its users, but if you do think that you have what it takes to make successful tweets or what it takes to make successful books or guide websites or anything like that, if you have the idea for the next Minecraft wiki but even bigger, then you can do that sort of thing that might be better suited for your skill set. One of my big first successes was selling books. There's all sorts of platforms like Google Play Books, etc. And one of those books was Minecraft related. Lots of people wanted to learn about the game in book form. Weirdly enough, it's something you don't think about, but it only takes a few thousand sales to be the equivalent in thousands of dollars to a million or several million views on YouTube. So it might be something that's worth considering. The same goes for a website. If you have a subscription, if you have even just the ads on a website, will be worth a lot more than YouTube, because you don't have to split 45% of them with the platform and God knows who else ever with. And also there's no requirements on a website. Speaking of no requirements, I think something that is also worth mentioning is something that does come with a lot of requirements but might be people's favorite thing to do, because people love modded Minecraft. This is one of those things I've never never been personally as big on. I think that Minecraft is a great vanilla game that you could mod, but why would you need to? Some people think Minecraft is a great vanilla game and it's perfect for modding. And statistically speaking, those people are in the right because there's tens of thousands of mods. Making a mod is a great way to potentially have a job that is related to Minecraft. There's three main ways you can take this. One of those ways is kind of the whole, you make something that's popular, people want to download it, and then they pay to download it, or they go on your Patreon, or even just ad-supported websites like CurseForge. The second way this can go is you start working on, like all sorts of people need mods to make the things they're doing work. I'd say YouTube is a common example. Lots of YouTubers have these very fake videos where they need to pretend things are in Minecraft. They need your mod to have a really convincing, if they want to have a Teletubby running through their Minecraft world and have it look convincing, they need you to make that actually look convincing, and so you can make those for videos. But the third and more an interesting one is oftentimes marketplace map developers will be willing to hire you if you have decent skills. Personally, I have a marketplace team. I've mentioned this before. I am looking for all sorts of people. If you're really good at making things in Minecraft and you can use, especially Minecraft Bedrock's code to make interesting maps, I would love to hear what your skill set is and what you could bring. That is a job that I would love to hire for example, and work on some for a freelance basis. But you can find all sorts of postings if you have the skill set in animations, if you have the skill set in programming, if you have the skill set of just even creative putting things together, then you can probably find a job somewhere in that. I would recommend getting good at it before starting, working on making the most basic add-on, here is a bee. Minecraft has all the best tools to, I said here's a bee, but that's a real mob. Here's a wasp. A wasp in Minecraft, that would be ridiculous. But you can actually, Minecraft has all sorts of tools to help you with these things because they want people to be creative in the game too, partially because it helps them, and partially because they want people to do very much the same thing. Do you have talent? If you're really talented at what you do, there is some way that you can make money from it. And can you get eyeballs on you? If you have a lot of eyeballs, those eyeballs eventually convert to money. If you have both at the same time, then that's incredible. I think most people don't think of themselves as incredibly talented people that lots of people watch. But if that is you, you're doing amazing. Good job. But if it's not, maybe instead you enjoy Bucket of Crabs. I'll leave a link to that down below. Alongside, I'll leave my email there just in case you're out there and you're like, I love, you want to help with IBX Toy Maps. I am looking to recruit there because I want to make survival altering concepts, really take things above and beyond. If you're really good at Bedrock add-ons and you have this idea or you have something that you think you can actually do regarding making the game hard, I would love to see it for some ultra hard survival spin-offs. Or if you're on, maybe you just found it useful to know that Twitter has a partner program. Facebook and Instagram have much lesser ones. They're very much more about trying to keep you on the platform than anything else. Same with TikTok. They've got a creator fund, but it's not so good. There are all these platforms that do exist, and if you're on any of them, I'll also leave a link to some of my setup down below, because not having a good microphone is one of the things that can really screw you. I have a Procaster and a decent shock mount here, and that makes such a big difference to my recording, versus if if I'm talking over here, or I'm all, having a bad microphone can ruin everything. And so getting yourself a decent setup, not necessarily an expensive gaming chair, that's one of the least important things. Can I say that about these? Getting a decent gaming chair is important for posture or something, but way more important for your videos is having a decent light, camera, microphone, the things that people are going to be seeing every time they see you. And the important things for anything else is to learn and stay in school, but they don't teach you Minecraft coding in school, so learn and try this out on the side. And hopefully you try to do that, and hopefully you enjoyed this authentic look into what it's actually like to make money. But either way, I hope you all enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one, honey. I just wanted to rhyme. Goodbye.